Kaya 959 on the street and on the air. Welcome to the Hive with me, Bonola Beasting. And today we are chatting to an actress, public speaker, creative producer, content creator. It's the one and only Brenda Mukwevho. How are you, my sister?
I'm great, thank you. How are you, Bonola?
I'm fine, man. Welcome to Kaya 959.
Thank you. It's about time.
Like we've been waiting for a whole month for this one, right?
Yeah.
Sis, can you tell me who is Brenda? Where is she from? And a little bit of a sneak preview into your upbringing.
Sure. I know I look 13, but it is quite a journey.
Yeah.
It's about a 42 years long journey, but I'm a girl from Venda, born in Makwarela, and I always had the love for TV. I was one of those kids that never was interested in playing outside. And one day my cousin came back from school and she was like, listen, I go to school at the National School of the Arts. And I was like, what's that? Like, no, you can act, you can sing, you can... I was like, please, can I go there? She's like, no, but you need to audition. I'm like, what is that? Like, no, I'll bring you something. So she brought me the prospectus. I gave it to my dad. To cut a long story short, I went and auditioned, and that's when my journey started at the National School of the Arts. I majored in drama, and then from there went to Tshwane University of Technology. I did musical theater, and my subjects were directing. And then when I was doing my final year, we do our final performance. I was picked from the stage to go start shooting, performing on stage the following month. And there I was shipped off to Germany for African Footprint.
I remember African Footprint.
Yeah, so I was shipped off. And then I had a back and forth of local theaters and international theaters. So I'd come back and I'd do Jesus Christ Superstar at the Peter Turin Theatre there by Monte Casino or in Camps Bay. And then I'd fly off for another year to go to India or wherever, Morocco, Marrakesh. So I got to see the world when I was still quite fresh in the industry. Then I came back from traveling internationally and I was like, you know what, I want something stable. I want to work back here at home. Lucky enough at the time, they were doing auditions for Lion King because Lion King was supposed to be coming to Monte Casino.
Yes.
So that's when I did the audition. When I was at the audition, then Duma was like, come here. Then I was poached. Yes, Dumagandlov gave me a platform to then become my most memorable performance on Mubango as the chief sister Lufuno.
Yes, man. Guys, when you see me looking to the camera, I'm looking at her husband, I'm like, this face, man. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so then I played Lufuno for a couple of years. But while I was doing Lufuno, then I had an interest because I've always thought there's more to this, and then I decided to, whenever they were doing castings, I would be a part of it. So then he got to see me doing that and he's like, you've got a way of talking to actors and you've got a way of taking out performance from actors. Why don't you try out directing? Then I started shadowing, started being trained. Otoni Khoroge were there, and I started directing and acting on Mubango.
What?
Yeah, so this double dabbling, I'll explain a bit now when I get to it, has always been a thing for me. I've always found myself doing two things at the same time. So I directed and then he was like, okay, enough now. Let's stop playing games. I'm killing your character. I'm like, I don't want to kill my character. He's like, you can sulk all you want. I'm killing your character. You've got a better future behind the scenes. I killed my character. It was a big thing for me because I've always thought, I'm an actress. But actually, that was such a great opportunity that he gave me because since then, I've never looked back. So I directed Mubango. After Mubango, then I moved on to go. I did some performance there and there for like sitcoms, and then I moved to Inkaba, the first telenovela that was launched in South Africa for Mnet. And then from there, I went to go direct Rhythm City. I directed Rhythm City for a couple of years there. And then after Rhythm City, then I was like, I need something else, man. And then I was asked to come and creative. At the time, I was asked to come and creative direct Uzalo. So then I went and I creative directed and sort of like, it was a mix between creative directing and producing. And I was there when we hit the 11.6 million views on South African television. It was under our leadership with the team there. So that was quite a milestone for me, because those were numbers that were never reached by any. I think even now they haven't been beaten. So yeah, I pride myself a lot with that. Then from there, Uzalo came back to set up their estate as a creative producer on SABC3. And then immediately I then jumped to House of Zwide as a creative producer on House of Zwide. And then we were sitting one day and they were like, we need a maid. I was like, I'll play a maid, jokingly. And the rest is history.
Wow.
I am now Dorothy on House of Zwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I look at, you've got an extensive, background of education, right? And we are living in an era now where I don't have beef with TikTok stars.
Yeah.
For somebody who's been in both behind and in front, is there a difference when you're dealing with actors or actresses that have actually gone and schooled to be actors, and then those that are because they've got numbers?
Yeah.
Because even with us in the radio, we experience that, no, this one doesn't have numbers, but the talent is there, right? Do you guys experience the same thing
We do. And it's such a tricky thing, because I always talk about sustainability and the longevity of someone's career path. I think most of us who've actually taken the time to put some information, I'm not going to say education to it, but I'm going to say information into our heads and learn the ways and the rules of the industry, find ourselves investing a lot more than those that, I'll call it a fly-by-night situation, and not in a bad way, because the problem is that there's a school of thought that we come from. And I think until if a more like 80s, maybe a little bit of the 90s at the early stages, we had the proper school of thought. We worked for what we wanted to achieve. It was never served on a silver platter. It wasn't a quick route to the top. I say this because I remember I used to watch Yo TV a lot. And those kids at that time were something to aspire to. Till today, those kids hold hectic and great positions in the industry. That was part of them learning. They didn't just wake up one day and then they open a TikTok account and then there are those Shem who've really got talent that are lucky enough to uproot themselves from those grassroots levels and showcase themselves. I'm not saying people on TikTok and all these other platforms are not talented. I'm saying what is lacking and what then becomes a problem or a challenge is when I'm on set and I'm a producer and then you come and you have no information on how to handle the environment. That's where the problem is. That's where the lack of the school of thought that we come from, you see the gaps, you know. I had to audition to get into a school.
The National School of Arts.
There was 60 of us. We spent the whole day auditioning until there was like, I think at the most 29 or 30. We spent the whole day auditioning. And I'm not saying that should be the way for everybody. No, I'm saying that there are so many important rules that are part of this industry that help us sift I almost said it in a bad way, but that help us sift the talent from the fly-by-night. You know what I mean? It's so important. I'm thankful that my father saw it in him to allow me to go to school for this. Because firstly, I think most of us find the challenge of parents not understanding what this industry is about. And with the fact that I got an opportunity to explore my talent from such a young age, because I was majoring in drama in high school. So I had history of art, history of music, I had drama, I had movement. It was literally packaged for somebody who is probably in a varsity learning the arts. Ne? And there were four faculties. It's drama, it's music, classical music, it's ballet, and it's fine art. So all those things, you were studying them at every level. Now you can understand, I'm studying about the Mona Lisa. And I'm asking myself, why am I studying about this? But it was part of my preparation. My old teacher used to say to us, how sure are you by the end of your final year at varsity that your suitcase is packed enough?
Ooh.
And when do you know, when you open that suitcase, which role are you taking out from that suitcase? So the only way you could open that suitcase is when you've prepped it. You've packed it again. You fold. With information. You fold. You know, okay, fine. Here today, this character needs me to put out method acting. This one needs me to dig from my own experiences. This one needs me to just flow with improv. But you've got elements that are packed in that suitcase that also guide you on how to respect the industry itself. We sit and then we think, you know what? I always used to correct people when they say, so Lerato ka ning li dlala ning ntho e ya lona hape man. Ke re, dlala. If you knew the hours that go into putting together that 23 minutes that you sit and you watch every day, it's hours and hours. We shoot 260 episodes in 11 months. Yo, that's our daily bread. That's our daily. It's not udlala, you know. So that's how I'm saying. I wish those that are finding themselves in the platforms and they're getting the attention, I wish they could also go back and say, let me equip myself with more information about this industry. Let me find out how is it that these people, the few that are there, are able to sustain and maintain this so that you don't fizzle out when the time you're TikTok. Because all these things are...
They come and go, yeah.
They come and go. But the truth of the matter is a performer is a performer, a musician is a musician. But it's also, it comes with the respect that they put in their craft. You never stop to learn. So I'm saying if you're coming in and you're coming from these platforms and you got your one-time luck, make sure that then you seek professional help so that you can also, you know, open yourself up to now the information and how to best be the business.
And being part of the business,
being
you need
part
the
of
information.
Yes. So that's what I look at it as.
You're a very passionate person.
I am.
No, very, very, honey.
No,
I mean, Cheryl, when we met a couple of months ago,
yes,
right, and we're sitting, like, I was like, and it's not just talking, like you can feel it. But one of the things that I realized that you are very passionate about mental health,
yes,
and physical well-being of women. Why is this so close to your heart?
I had two very traumatic experiences in my journey of life. The first one, I was living in Melville and there was a house break-in and two guys came into my house and they chose to basically strip me of my soul. They held me hostage. They took everything of mine. And from that day, when that happened, I've always asked myself, how did I, because when I went, for some strange reason, after that incident happened, I went and I did research on how many women, because it was Women's Day when it happened. I remember it was August. Now the penny just dropped why I did what I did after. It was Women's Day. I was coming from studying from the library, came in to do my normal routine. And I got into my house, got into the shower, and I was showering and I heard noise and people came into the house and held me hostage, tied me up from the shower. And after that, they took whatever they took. They even took my car and packed it into my car and they left with it. And after that, I took it upon myself to find out what kind of a human being thinks that they have a right to take my personal belongings and to also take my... what do you call it? Give it a soul, because I felt like they stripped me of my confidence, my safety, my womanhood. And that day, a couple of weeks later, I did research and I found out that there was a 4-month-old baby who was raped and killed on that same day. And I kept asking myself, why did the same not happen to me? Because I was praying throughout. And till today, I believe that somewhere, somehow, it was not my time. And God protected me. My mom, I felt like my mom was there. My mom passed away when I was a baby. So I've always felt like I walk with her. But I then was triggered to study criminology, because then I went and I registered to study psychology because I wanted to understand. Like it really boggled me. Like it bothered me how a person thinks they've got any right to take what that doesn't belong to them. So the mental health issue was triggered from there. I managed to work through it through therapy and stuff. And then being in this industry, this is the second one. Being in this industry as a woman and forging the trail that I'm trying to forge, which is a woman in any position. I feel like I can be a woman in this industry and be a woman and do anything that I want to do because I've got every right to hold any position that I would like to hold, as long as I can. If I'm delivering the work, why do I not have a right? And I think we need to get to that stage where it's not about, the first Black woman to do what. It's so boring now. Why are we still in 2024 talking about the first Black what? I mean, really? Why? Were we not there all along? We were. But the opportunities are now coming to us. And that's what I appreciate. But they're coming with, I always say, like, akiribari king, lenyalo ki scam. But nakiri,
that was a good inside joke, guys.
Yeah, it's an inside joke. Wari lenyalo ki scam. I don't believe lenyalo ki scam, actually. But there's also that saying, but in our creative industry, that there's male dominated.
Yes, I hear that quite a lot. Yeah.
So now I think ki scam into you. Ne? In fact, har tluele lenyalo.
Male dominated entertainment industry.
What is that?
Yeah.
There's lovely women out there who are producing great work because they're being given the platforms. We've got great writers that are female, you know? We've got people who are able to carry this industry into heights that we can't even explain. But I'm tired of this thing because I feel like the whole thing of the creative industry, hey, the male dominated, that's what makes it triple tough for us, because there's this bad stigma to us making a success of what we're doing in this industry. Why is it a male? Why is it so tough? We're doing it. I'm here, you're here. Yes, it's tough for everybody. So my mental health triggers came from the fact that I had to fight this whole male-dominated thing. Because it doesn't come just by it being said. It comes through literally your day-to-day, the running of things, where your decision and what you are saying might be the right thing, but it sounds better when it comes from somebody else. And you sit there and you watch this somebody else claim fame to something that you probably whispered to them. So it's a huge challenge for me that I feel we need to really overcome. It is really, this industry is for everybody. Whether you are they, them, whether you are, hey, you are Brenda, you're here to do the job. Can you do it? Does it translate on screen? Great, awesome. Did you waste money for us? No. Okay, great. Let's carry on. But it can't be a thing where till now, 2024, we're still talking about male-dominated industries. How?
You know, there is an award that is happening in August also. It's Basadi in Music Awards.
Yes.
But it's specifically for musicians.
Yes.
Do you think that there would be a award for women in the film and television industry?
I'm two-sided about that.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the positive, and then I'll go to the negative. I feel like we deserve those platforms. We deserve to be recognized. But it should, okay, and then the negative comes in. It shouldn't just be in these small platforms that come once a year. Basadi ki basadi. And really, we do our best to do the best that we can do on a daily basis. We were just laughing earlier on, saying that when men are ill or when they become babies, they become babies. And it's true. You know, there are certain things that they can't withstand that we do. There's a saying, I probably won't say it properly, but bari bafabazi. That's why abafazi. Something like that. We die knowing. You die knowing that I did that, but I can't claim fame to it. That is my biggest challenge in saying, when is it that we will just be acknowledged for our strengths?
You are a dropper of mics, eh?
And I'm not saying I'm not saying that feminist or what. No, Nakibuanje generally, as a human being who is a woman. When are we ever going to be seen for the things that we do? Because we don't only do them come miracle. It's at home, our children, our parents, ourselves, to keep ourselves together so that everything else can function. When is it going to be time for us to just be accepted as normal human beings who are capable?
Talking about families.
Yeah.
I just recently got married. Basically, about like the TV.
Way.
Right?
Way.
So it's been a year.
Yeah.
One of the things
I'm so scared of
No, you know, we've been married for a year,
real.
but we've been together for decades.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like yes, kid really fat and set mama, but
I mean,
they paid the bola.
We are here now.
Here now.
Yeah.
So I think the difficult part for me is, right?
Yeah.
Is to be a working woman and then still come back home and be submissive and be and okay, like honestly. And the thing is that, my thing is this with my married friends, we laugh about this, but I'm like, guys, but this is a serious issue. Why didn't I saying like it's
what stress?
No, honestly, I need somebody who's got more experience than me. How?
I don't have more experience than you though.
Right.
My lobolas are being finalized next weekend. No, listen. That is the hardest part of being a woman, I believe. I think we can do the whole work thing with ease, man.
Yeah,
we can get it together. We know how to show up. But I think what's tough about marriage is that, and especially, I'm getting married. I'm over 40, and that's a fully fledged human being who's gone through it all, if not most of it all. And now you're supposed to merge with another individual and understand each other and fight for each other. After all the breakage that's been done from the past, from both your pasts, you sort of like need to find each other in a special way. And that's why I feel like friendship is more important in a marriage than anything else. If umpinjaka, I think, because I've seen it, man. Why is it that we're able to be friends with people for a lifetime, but we can't stay in marriages?
For a lifetime.
Yeah. So for me, that's how I've broken it down. That I want to be with my best friend. And I know that my best friend's got my back.
Yeah.
And I know I can call out my best friend when my best friend is being weird, So I think that's what me and my husband...
girl.
That's what me and my husband are trying to work on.
Yeah.
Or and I'm not saying that makes things easier, but the truth of the matter is, spanning really too, and then don't you want some snacks? This snacks are downstairs. Dude, Pattern pinch unahanang how rubatla nakyo lata this next. So in fact, when you had one meeting in the morning, na ki khutle no ka 6.
Yes.
I had to make sure ujile. Even how swabi how rikonna. It's a hacksoji. So I sang the whole day, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
So it's those things that just make you realize that you need to deal with each other as besties,
friends.
as friends, because he needs to understand when you are down, he's the only person who can bring you up. When you are lost, he needs to find you. When he is frustrated, you are the only person who brings sanity
into his life.
Whether it's the smallest amount of sanity when you're just giggling a little too. Whatnot and whatnot. That sanity goes a long way, because that thing makes that person wake up the following day and say, I'm going to work twice as hard for this one again.
Don't you just love?
You know? So I think that's what we lack in this world. I'm not saying we are perfect, me and my husband. We're far from it. We're far. He says I'm a bull. Now we can't have two bulls in one crowd.
Yeah.
So I said, but not see. But it's like, that's why I liked your bullism. But I'm not saying so sometimes the bull is needed from me to stand with him, to know so I really just, in a nutshell, I'm just trying to say that I feel like I'm trying it out with him, and we're trying it out as besties.
Thank you, girl.
Yeah.
I feel better.
So batlo Roma.
Next.
And it's much worse than when. Maybe we're now to tola C-section. Mara no gout. Gout is as 5 times the operation than the
C-section. We'll never understand that.
No, it won't make sense.
Moving right along.
Yes, please.
Losing Lerato too.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what's your role and your involvement in losing Lerato?
Look, I had the opportunity to join a team of people, 2 guys, who, when I first met them, I was like, like, what is this? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that when I watched Losing Lerato.
Yeah.
I think during COVID. And I watched it and I was hearing that these 2 guys, man, who are doing this thing and they are flying the world, they are getting awards and whatnot and whatnot. I'm like, oh man. So then I watched Losing Lerato and I was like, oh, these are the guys. Elori though, when I started dating my husband, he was like, do you know how I work? Like, because my husband happens to be
like, hey, you gotta finish me.
My husband and his business partner, so I'm not gonna say my husband's name now that I've done that. How embarrassing. So he was like, listen, babe, I want you to watch some of our... Have you watched? I was like, I hadn't actually by that time. Yeah. And he was like, no, I want you to watch this. And then I watched Tando. Yeah. And when I watched Tando, I was so pissed off with him at the end of the movie. Because I was like... And because that's where the passion came in. Yeah. I was like, but these things are happening for real. Why did you guys wake us up from a dream? It's not a dream when kids are committing suicide. Why did you make it? And we had that argument for such a long time. But at the end, I was like, that is such a beautiful movie that is so necessary. And I think that's part of what I fell in love with. The fact that as guys, they're having conversations about parenting girl children, and the boy child is important. So when all was said and done, and they were like, yo, we're doing Losing Lerato 2, and I work with Kagiso on another set, and at House of Zwide, he's the director there. So he was like, listen, when we have downtime, most banning losing Lerato. I was like, me? It's like, yeah, you really have an interesting creative perspective, and I want us to work on this thing together. It's two, and we just need to make it nicer, bigger. And I was like, I'm all game. And I came in as a creative producer for Losing Lerato too. And I was there, man, the casting, the journey of putting it together. These guys have really, for me, shown me what passion is.
Yeah.
I might say, and I might speak with passion, but they take out food that's supposed food from their mouths to go make sure that they can tell this story for a child who is in Tuba sitting, and hopefully they will catch a glimpse of this show. Because the other thing that's so impressive about Wakwena Productions is that they're able to do road shows and go to schools to showcase the kids these stories that are so important. These they talk about these stigmas. They talk about sugar daddy, libana baskolo. So with Losing Lerato, it was a love story between a girl child and her father. And on top of that, it's a girl child who is not even a biological girl child. And for me, when that story, when I was reading that script, I was captured with the fact that this is what's supposed to be heard in South Africa, that not all fathers are deadbeat, and not all children are just these kids who are running around wanting sugar daddies to give them things. They're willing to fight for what is right. They have a sensation about them that makes them know what is right from wrong. And we take a journey where this girl is fighting for her relationship with her father, who's been arrested for 15 years of her life. And now she's like, when you come out, I've got an opportunity to live with you. I've got an opportunity to re-experience all the things that you've missed in my life and all the things that you've missed with me in your life. So it's such a profound, simple love story. But this time around, yay, it gets intense.
I mean, Losing Lerato, the first one, yo, there's that scene.
The separation.
Yo!
By the bus.
Yo!
Yes.
Did I not cry?
You'll still cry this
and
time.
And like, my person was like, and then I'm like, can't you see what's happening here?
You're gonna cry.
Do you understand? Yo!
You're gonna cry. Be prepared.
It's like a tissue.
Box.
Yo.
Yeah, triple ply. If we think. Because honestly speaking, I think when South Africans get together and they tell their own authentic stories,
magic happens.
We do it in such a simple way, but the best way, where it tugs the right strings in your heart. I always say that as South Africans, we love to laugh at ourselves because that's how we hide and get over pain. There are moments where you will laugh. There are moments where you feel warm and fuzzy, but there are gut-wrenching moments because we live in a gut-wrenching society. And that's what Losing Lerato 2 makes you realize. Some political elements there and there, just to spice up things. Because, I mean, we are in South Africa.
Yeah.
We cannot talk about where we are. And I think those are nuances that best tell us or tell people who we are. So we've got those elements. We've got a bit of comedy there and there, but it really is a love story that's told in the simplest way.
When is it coming out? Where can we view it? Because you got it from your hubby.
Oh God, I'm gonna get into so much trouble for this.
I love it.
Like, okay, mo matateng. Kaya FM
I get one of sort of pillow talk.
95.9. Hey, friend. Idlala ka di-2 wena tsa August mo Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Please make sure that you switch on your screen. And now I'm asking you not to just switch it on.
Yeah.
Switch on your screen, go to that channel and watch Losing Lerato 2 on Netflix. I think they launch it in the morning, ne? It gets loaded in the morning.
Okay.
So the whole day from the 2nd of August, it will be available for you to stream. Please do take the time to watch it. We've got a young girl called Nefisa there, Mkabela. She is a talent of note. We've got people that are really going to steal your heart. If you've been watching the trailer, you'll see Obripo, Wozolisa Kaluva. You know, we've Basi. You know, we've got those people, and it's a really, really strong cast. And I think they themselves, when they watch, they're going to be so proud of themselves, because it was shot in the toughest environment, in a sense that when you are trying to tell a story and all the odds are against you, in a sense that there's nobody who's picking up the phone to say, what do you need? And the guys are like, no maganjani. We will shoot it and it will be great, because we want to tell our authentic stories ourselves. That for me was grueling, but it was so satisfying as well.
And worth it.
Worth it. Because even for us to get platforms like Netflix looking at us to say, you are capable of this, sometimes it's important for us to feel like all the other aspects around us are saying the same thing, you know? So it's a very proud moment for us, for Bakwena Productions. My husband.
I'm so gonna use that.
You know, it reminds me of, the Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah.
Like, all my life I had to fight. All my life I've had to wait to call him my husband. Okay, this is getting out of hand. But yeah, August the 2nd.
Yeah.
2024. Look out for Losing Lerato 2. It is about to blow your minds.
Ah, man. Brenda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was an absolute blast. I'm sure if there was a glass of something here.
Yay! We're just like this.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Brenda.
for inviting me.
Oh, man. And really, really looking forward to Losing Lerato 2, the 2nd of August on Netflix.
Yes.
Ah, man.
Please. And, it's important for our audiences to know as well that it counts. Once you've watched it, go back tomorrow and switch your TV again and keep it on that channel playing Losing Lerato. It counts, guys, because a South African project hitting number 1 internationally or locally, it shows that it is worth investing in South Africa for their content, because their people are watching their work. So I'm saying, please, it's not enough. Watching it once is not enough. Woma 8, 9, then I'll say, okay, let's let it go. But please, 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 it's important for you guys to watch and to switch on those channels and watch Netflix 2nd of August from the morning, 2024. Please, we've got Losing Lerato 2 for you guys, and it was such a pleasure making the movie for you guys.
Brenda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you have it. Losing Lerato 2 coming on the 2nd of August on Netflix from the morning. But you know what I'm going to be doing?
What are you going to be doing?
From the 2nd.
Yes.
I'm going to be alternating between the two.
Yes.
Losing Lerato or Losing Lerato 2.
Mamela. Wena una le plan. How qeta morning ning uri thando in the middle.
No, I watch
How
because you never know what you're going to miss.
You know what? Listen. Do yourself a favor. Watch Losing Lerato 1 before the 2nd of August.
Yes.
Then watch Losing Lerato 2. How qeta mo uyo sheba thando. How feditse mo uri you are done. Uri ingoma.
Yes.
Ukhutlele hape ko Losing Lerato 2.
No, leadership, I understand why she's your wife. You chose very wisely. By the way, for me, the way you guys are so connected, I swear to God, you think that you've been married for 10 years. That is why I was asking you. Kiss, anyway, before I keep going, said,
my husband.
This is Kaya 959 on the street and on the air.